Good evening, everyone. This is Pradeep from GETI, the Global Education and Training Institute from Lucknow. And right now, you are on our disruptive education platform provided to us by our mentor, Dr. Sunita Gandhi. On this platform, we have met with and interacted with more than 1,600 speakers and educators from India and all over the world. And this evening, we have for you Mr. Dan Blanchard. He's an educator and author. Granddaddy Secrets Incorporated uh, from Mansfield in Connecticut in the US of A. Uh, Dan Blanchard is a best-selling and award-winning author, speaker, and educator. He is a two-time junior Olympian wrestler and two-time junior Olympian coach and grew up as a student athlete. In fact, he says he was more an athlete than a student. He now has 14 years of college and 7 degrees. He teaches special education and social studies in Connecticut, largest inner city high school. Here, he was chosen by AFT-CD as the face and voice of educational reform and is now on the speaking circuit. He was on their team for their new social studies frameworks. He is a member of the Special Education Advisory Board of the Connecticut State Department of Education. He is a teacher consultant for the unit of Connecticut's writing project, and he's a double veteran of the Army and Air Force to boot. And a play is being written on his versatile life. You can see that he's so talented, multifaceted. He's the president and founder of Granddaddy Secrets Incorporated, host of Mindalia TV, the best-selling author of The Storm, an award-winning speaker and educator, and a philanthropist with 7 university degrees. He shall be speaking to us today on leadership tips and tricks. Welcome, Dan, and over to you.
Hello, Pradeep. It's good to be with you tonight. How are you? Great. So today I'm going to be giving a leadership speech built or based on my book, The Storm. So I'm really looking forward to spending some time with the audience tonight and sharing some great tips with you guys. So, you ready to go, Pradeep? All right, so let's get this started. Okay, my mom was told by the doctors that she couldn't have this baby. Yeah, they said this baby would kill you if you had it. So my mom had to decide baby, her life, baby, her life, baby, her life. I mean, would you know which one to choose? I don't know if I'd know which one to choose. I know maybe if I was pushed, being a guy and all, maybe I might choose my life. Think that maybe later on I could have a baby because, if you're dead, then you're dead, right? There's no baby ever if you're dead. But my mom unselfishly chose to have me. And guess what? The doctors were wrong. All right. We both made it out of that hospital for a reason. So I'm pretty convinced that I'm here for a reason. And I know that you're here for a reason. And it's our jobs to persevere through the ups and downs of life to figure out what is that reason that we're all here for. What difference are we going to make sure that we have a reason that we're going to stay here, not just for a season. And then this kind of goes like what my granddaddy said. He said, never let these so-called experts or the cognitive misers steal your thinking and tell you what's impossible. Okay, and that's our secret number one. We're all here for a reason. So watch out for those cognitive misers that are steal your thinking. My granddaddy said, don't ever let them tell you what's impossible. Because believe it or not, if you break it down and you spell impossible, it starts off with I am possible. I am possible. You are possible. We're all possible. So watch out for those cognitive misers that try to steal your thinking and tell you what's possible and what's not possible. Now, I'm not saying to stay away from the experts. There's a lot of good out of experts, right? When you figure out what you want to do with your own thinking, you know what I'm saying? Then you go to the experts and say, how do you do this? You know, somebody's been there before. Somebody's probably done it before. You know, success leaves clues. So let's find it. Let's use the experts when appropriate. Let's stay away from those cognitive misers that try to steal your thinking and try to tell you things are impossible. All right. Because here's the thing, you're going to work. Cognition's difficult work, but you're going to work on it. And with cognition, right, what you're going to do is you're going to start to conceive what's possible. And then you're going to start to perceive it. You know, you're going to think, okay, I conceive this thought of mine. I perceive that it might be possible. And now I believe it. I know I can do it. And then you go achieve it. So you have the conceiving, perceiving, believing, and achieving cycle. All right, from one thing to another, to another, to another. And remember, guard your thoughts, because thoughts become things. All right, you can do the impossible. So get out there and do the impossible. And remember, secret one, we're here for a reason. So watch out for those cognitive misers. Secret two, the simple things in life are the best things in life. Have you ever taken a walk in a park? Have you ever just slowed down and just watched the flight of a bird, or appreciated the birth of, you know, a miracle, the miracle birth? I mean, most of us forget that we are a miracle, right? We forget that our birth was a miracle. We forget, you know, about the simple things in life, like the walk in the park, the flight of a bird, and, you know, the spending time with a friend, you know. For some reason, you know, these things are just so simple to do that they're also simple not to do. For some reason, we always let life get overcomplicated, like stormy. For some reason, we think that we have to complicate things to prove that we're intelligent and that we're worthy and we're special. And I got to tell you, all that stuff just gives you a bumpy road. Don't get too complicated. Right? Don't get too stormy. Keep your life simple. And you're going to see that things are way better and your mind is way more clear. Your mind becomes like a sponge when life is simple. When it's complicated, your mind becomes rigid and ideas bounce off and it can't penetrate it. All right. So what you're going to do to help this happen is you're going to try to find one special friend. That's all you really need. One special friend can open doors to you like you wouldn't imagine, change the way you think about things. Remember, I said things, you know, thoughts become things. All right. So one special person can change everything for you. Create that relationship with somebody that can help you think in a bigger, broader way. Okay. Now, this person's probably not just going to fall into your life. You got to like do something to become the type of quality person that attracts other high quality people. All right. And then, you know, like kind of attracts like. So then these people will be around you. They will want to be with you, know your name. They want to spend time with you. And then these are the people. All right. You only need one of them, but if you got more, that's great. So what are you going to do? Until that one special person comes around that can make you think bigger in life of what's possible and get you away from that impossible stuff. I want you to think about what's the one thing you really like? What's the one special thing you're pretty good at? And then develop that, study that day and night, live and breathe that one thing, become an expert at that one thing. And when you become an expert at that one thing, you're going to attract other experts into your life and you're going to find that one special person. So secret number two, simple things in life are the best things in life. Secret number three, skate to where the puck is. Okay, we all know, at least most of us in the U.S., we've heard of a guy called Wayne Gretzky. He's a super famous hockey star from the old days. And he played professional hockey. He was so much better than all the other professional hockey players. Well, one day, a reporter came to him and they said, Mr. Gretzky, tell us your secret. How are you day after day better than the best hockey players in the world? And then Wayne Gretzky said, you know what? It's actually kind of simple. I don't skate to where the puck is. I skate to where the puck is going. That's my secret to being better than the best. Skate to where the puck is going. And that's Granddaddy's secret number three, based on my best-selling book, The Storm. Okay. So this means, what does this mean? It means planning ahead. I'm saying you got to plan ahead. You can't be weak and lazy, indifferent. You've got to spend the energy or invest the energy in planning ahead. Listen, winging it is not a badge of honor. I know some of us think it's a badge of honor. Oh, look at me. I didn't study for the test and I passed. I didn't prepare for the project and I freaking hit a home run with it. I did a great job. You know what I'm saying? I've done it. I've gone in not studying for a test and come out, or not preparing myself fully for a project and coming out and saying, look, I did it. I cranked on this. I did awesome on this, right? And the thing is, I felt special because I was able to do something other people couldn't do. But what it really was an illusion. It was an illusion that was setting me up for failure, future failure. You can't just wing it. That is not a badge of honor. All right. It doesn't make you special. It may make you feel special, but it doesn't make you special. It just makes you lazy and indifferent and unsuccessful down the road. All right. So don't wing it. Plan ahead, prepare. Remember, skate to where the puck is going. So let me give you a quick little story about why you shouldn't wing it. Picture this. It's a beautiful day, and you want to go on a kayak ride, a nice, lazy river, float down that nice, lazy river on your kayak. You jump on your kayak. It's not a cloud in the sky. The sun's out, light breeze coming by, and everything is wonderful. You're loving that kayak ride. You even giggle a little bit, realizing that, what your friends are missing. Some of your friends should be there, and they're not there, and you're just, they're missing something great. You're just floating down, and just loving life. You close your eyes, you listen to the sounds of nature. Everything is great. At some point, you decide, maybe I'll go ashore. You poke your head up, look around, and say, I'm not quite sure where I am, but maybe I'll go ashore. And then you look for your kayak to paddle ashore, and then you realize, oh boy, I don't have a kayak. No worries. Don't worry about it. The current of the river will eventually push you ashore. You'll pull your kayak on land, and you'll figure it out from there where to go. This is even kind of cool little adventure, so it's all good. So you put your head down, and you just relax and listen to the sounds of nature. But after a while, something changes. The sounds of nature change, and you're hearing a loud rumbling noise. You look up, and you see that your kayak is drifting toward a waterfall, and you don't have a kayak to paddle away from it, nor can you jump in and swim for the shores because now the currents are too strong. You forgot to plan ahead and put a paddle in there. Oh my gosh, you should have planned ahead. All right. Now I know that this is, a cute little story, and hopefully none of you will forget to put a paddle in your kayak when you're going out. But here's the deal. If you don't plan ahead, you may find yourself in a kayak without a paddle, and that would be bad news. You definitely aren't skating to where the puck is going at that point. All right, now here's an advanced technique. If you want to really improve your chances beyond just planning ahead, an advanced planning ahead method is called a mission statement with visualization. See, what I want you to do is I want you to think about the type of person you want to be, and then write that down. What does that type of person think about? What does that type of person do? What does that type of person have? And I want you to fill it with emotional power words that really get your blood running. And I want you to fill it with details, because details are the fuels of the imagination. And I want you to read this mission statement of the person you're becoming, every morning when you get up and every night right before you go to bed, so you can put it in your subconscious mind and program yourself for success. And then visualize it as you're reading it. You know what I'm saying? I did this when I was a young guy, and everything I visualized on my mission statement came true. This works firsthand. Write yourself a mission statement, read it every day, visualize it, and you'll be surprised at the stuff you get. Now, listen, of course, this is a simple thing to do, but it's also a simple thing not to do. All right, the choice is yours. You can choose to be empowered by planning ahead and creating a mission statement and visualizing it, or you could choose not to be. You could be in that kayak, just floating down the river without a paddle. And if you're doing that, you're definitely not skating to where the puck is going. So skate to where the puck is going and empower yourself through planning ahead and a mission statement. Secret 4, the pain of regret. Now, I don't know how many of you out there like pain. I bet more of you like pleasure. But believe it or not, we have found that pain is more motivating than pleasure. I mean, we all operate, if you know anything about psychology, we all operate out of the pain and pleasure principle, right? We try to avoid pain. We try to go toward pleasure. Okay. But believe it or not, the pleasure of some far off distant goal is not enough to make us do the work every day to get to where we want to be that high quality person that I talked about earlier that attracts other high quality people. So believe it or not, I mean, pain's like a stronger motivator. And what's the pain? Well, it's the saber-tooth jumping out of the bush. You know what I'm saying? That's the pain. You know, our prehistoric mind is wired that way. That is the pain. A saber-tooth tiger jumping out of the bush at us. That would be very painful, maybe deadly. Now, listen, that doesn't exist anymore. Saber-tooth tigers are long extinct. However, you know, going into the unknown, trying something new, being rejected, failing, that is the pain that we're all trying to avoid. That is the version of the modern day saber-tooth tiger that we're all trying to avoid. The pain of the unknown, the pain of rejection, the pain of failure. Okay. So what I found is this is what people don't plan to fail. They just fail to plan. You got to plan what you're going to do and then face that modern day saber-tooth tiger in the unknowns, rejection, and failure. Because here's the problem. If you don't do that, all right, if you don't do that, there's going to be a rocking chair test at the end of your life. So picture this, all right? You're in a rocking chair on a front porch of your home, you know, a bunch of years in the future, you're an old person, right? Sitting there drinking your iced tea, your water, or whatever it may be. Rock it in your chair. Thinking about your life. And you know what you're going to find? Most of the stuff that you did and you screwed up, not going to be really in your thoughts. Most of your pain in that rocking chair is going to come from the things you never tried, the things you failed to take action on. What a life you could have had if you had just tried other things and had overcome that saber-tooth of unknown rejection and failure. Believe it or not, when we're old and rocking in those chairs, 80% of our pain will come from the things we didn't do versus 20% of the pain coming from the dumb mistakes we made. So I say, don't be afraid to make some dumb mistakes. Get out there and don't have the pain of regret. Seek it forward when you're in your rocking chair. Okay? Listen, it's out there. There's a recipe out there. Someone's done it already, most likely. So there's a recipe. There's a success formula to follow. Find it and do it in the new things in your life. Broaden your horizon. Because if you don't do that, you're going to be in the rocking chair of regret. And that, my friend, is painful. Now listen, I know life isn't fair. We all know life isn't fair. Okay? So, but here's the thing. You can't blame other people. When you try new things, it doesn't work out. You can't just blame other people. You got to pick yourself up and try again. You know, try and say, oh, this didn't work. Thomas Edison said, this didn't work. Let's try a different way of doing the light bulb, right? When you do that, you become empowered. When you just place the blame on somebody else or the system, you become disempowered. And that's nowhere we want to go. When you're disempowered, you're floating down the river in a kayak with no paddle, and you're letting the currents of life bring you and push you around wherever they want to push you around. Empower yourself by not blaming others, all right? Don't be a victim. Be a victor, all right? The secret to success is being a victor mentality, not a victim mentality where you turn to the world's vices to relieve some of your pain. Right? Overeating, drugs, fighting, gambling, whatever else it may be. You know what I'm saying? Those are the vices of the world, and we don't want to do that. We don't want a victim mentality, blaming others, saying the world is not fair. We want the victor mentality like Thomas Edison. Okay, that didn't work. Enlighten the light bulb. Let's try a better way or another way until we find something that works. That's empowering, okay? And so is putting a paddle in your kayak. All right. Moving on to Secret 5. It's already in you. All right. Everything you need is already in you. All right. Some of you may know the great Buddha. A quick story on the great Buddha. He had everything he wanted. Great palace, wealth, family, friends. Every one of his wants, desires, needs were lavishly met. Well, one morning he woke up and looked around at the signs of debauchery in his castle. All right. And he was like, wow, there's got to be more to life than this. I have everything I want at my fingertips, and I'm still not satisfied. There's got to be something better than this, more to life than this. So he left the palace. He left his family, friends, his riches, his everything, his wife, his kids, everything. And he wandered around the world broke, seeing other people that were broke. He sat under trees meditating. It didn't work. He tried fasting. He got really, really skinny. That didn't work. He tried everything he could think of to find enlightenment, to find nirvana, the secret to life, the happiness, the fulfillment. And he couldn't find it. Well, one day after an extended meditation of 49 days under a fig tree, it hit him. It was almost like Newton's apple hitting Newton and giving him the idea of gravity. But this time it was a fig tree, all right, that Buddha was under. When he got hit with the idea that what if I could just be happy with what I have and not long for others, right? Like the 10 Commandments, do not covet thy neighbor's wife, all right? Stop, modern day language, stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. Just be happy with what you have. Want what you have and don't want what you don't have. It's that success. It's that easy. All right? When you try to do what others do, especially on social media, when you see what others have on social media, and then you try to do that, all you're going to do is thicken your waist and thin your wallet. It's not a good idea to try to keep up with the Joneses. So get away from that, okay? Pick out some goals for your life, all right? And shoot for the stars while you're at it. I'm not telling you, Buddha's not telling you to sit under a fig tree for the rest of your life, the Bodhi tree, right? He's not telling you to do that for the rest of your life. He's telling you to be happy with what you have, but at the same time, still work towards stuff. I mean, after all, the Buddha worked toward finding enlightenment. He didn't sit there and do nothing, and he found enlightenment. So pick a goal, right? And when I say pick a goal for your life, I want you to shoot for the stars and miss with the moon. And this is why, because the stars is so far away. Our sun is a star, and that's much farther away than our moon. So if you shoot for the stars, our sun, and you hit it, wow, you could have a life that you couldn't imagine. But let's just say you miss it, all right, which is a good probability. You're going to miss it, and you fall back on the moon. Hey, that's a pretty good fallback place for when you're shooting for your goals. The moon is still an out of this world performance. And I think any one of us, would be happy to have an out of this world experience. All right. I mean, the Buddha, I think he might have hit the sun, right? We may not hit the sun with finding like nirvana, enlightenment, and all that, and a religion being created in our thoughts. We probably won't hit that. But listen, if we shoot for the sun, we might land on the moon. All right. And that's a great place to fall back. Okay. So here's the other thing, though. I want you guys to get away from using the word lucky. All right. When someone makes a great catch in a baseball game, football game, whatever, the people out there would say, oh, lucky catch, but especially the competitors would say lucky catch. All right. So now what that does, right? When you use lucky catch or lucky anything, it just makes you average. It lets you off the hook for doing the work that's necessary to make a few great life catches of your own. All right. So stop telling people they made a lucky catch or they were just lucky. Get out there and work for it. All right. So listen, if you're going to use the word lucky, I say use it only in one way. Here's the new definition of the word lucky. This one's not in the Webster Dictionary, by the way. All right. This is the one that says preparation, meet, and opportunity is luck. Okay. The more you prepare, the more you will be ready when the door of opportunity opens and be able to step through that threshold because you're qualified to step into a bigger, better life at the next plane above you. All right. You can do this, but you got to be prepared. All right. And then when opportunity comes knocking, you step through. All right. And some people will say you're lucky, but you'll know that the real definition of luck is preparation, meeting, opportunity. And I find out the harder I work, the luckier I become under my definition of luck. Not some I won lotto definition. Okay. So listen. Gretzky didn't rely on luck by the standard definition, but the kayaker did rely on luck. And you see how things went bad for the kayaker, right? And Gretzky, well, his hard work, his preparation met the opportunity of just skating where the puck's going to be. The harder you work, the luckier you get, by my definition. All right? So here's the question. Is the next opportunity for you right around the corner? And will you be ready? Will you be prepared to qualify yourself to step into that opportunity? It's all on you. Start planning now and start skating to where the puck is going. Secret 6. Every tragedy includes an opportunity. The Dalai Lama of Tibet, he said when you face tragedy, you can take two paths. One is you can get depressed and turn into victimized, self-destructing habits that we talked about earlier. The second one is you can see it as a challenge and reach inside, deep inside yourself and find it as a challenge that you're going to beat, that you're going to overcome. And the Dalai Lama said, thanks to the Buddha, I chose the latter one of finding it as a challenge to make me dig deeper. Hey, listen, I'm a history teacher. I know history is filled with people, who have done this, who have been put down and criticized and gone on to great success. I mean, Napoleon, right? The great Napoleon, when he was on his deathbed, he said, I wonder what that teacher thinks of me now. He had a training instructor that made his life heck when he was a young man, right? And he went on to use that as fuel to become super successful. The great Olympic swimmer from the U.S., Michael Phelps, same thing. He had a teacher when he was young that said, he'll never amount to anything. And look at what he did. He took that as fuel, right? That misfortune, that being put down as fuel to go out and become the greatest swimmer ever. Okay. We all have this opportunity to use misfortune to fortune. We can turn terrible, negative circumstances into great motivating force to do great things. I did that. I grew up in a terrible upbringing, terrible youth, and I've turned it into my motivating force, my energy to go on and do great things. We can all do that, right? Marcus Aurelius said, a man's greatest tragedies leads to his greatest successes. And he was a pretty smart guy. He was one of the most nimble, versatile minds of ancient Rome. I think he knew what he was saying about. All right. My granddaddy's secret doesn't say it as well as him, but hey, again, every tragedy includes an opportunity, right? So when you're getting lemons, make lemonade. All right. And I know many of us do that, old maxim, but I'm going to give you even a step up on that. All right. Instead of just making lemonade, I want you to ask yourself better questions when things aren't going right for you, when people are putting you down. I want you to say, when things don't work out for you, I want you to say, what else could this mean? All right. Sometimes not getting your dreams actually gives you your destiny. That's right. Maybe you weren't supposed to go that way. And by being rejected, turned down, and failing, life gave you an opportunity to pivot away from that false dream to your real destiny. You've got to start asking better questions beyond just turning lemons into lemonade. What else could this mean? That's happened to me so many times. And I said, well, what else could this mean? Maybe I'm supposed to pivot to something different. Let's talk about Cicero, the great orator from ancient Rome. He said, gratefulness is the mother of all virtues. We need to feel grateful. If we feel grateful, you would be surprised how much brighter the world gets to you, how many more opportunities open up, how many more people want to be around you that also bring opportunities, by the way. So I say, be grateful. I walk around feeling grateful, and the world is going to give you opportunities, and you actually going to create a bunch of opportunities for yourself as you prepare. Remember the definition of success. All right. Opportunity meeting, preparation meeting opportunity, right? Hard work meeting opportunity, all right? But feel grateful while you're doing it, okay? And if you've been knocked down along the way, that's good. There's nothing wrong with it. That's actually a good thing, because what will happen is you'll learn how to pick yourself back up, and that's good. You'll be more advanced and more ready than people who've never been knocked down, that have been given everything in life, all right? So if you've been knocked down, good. You learn how to pick yourself up, and now you're going to go out and you're going to do great things. Okay, secret 7. I want you to do the work. Here's the thing. In 10 years from now, all right, what's going to make you different from the person sitting next to you is going to be the books you read and the people you talk to. Every one of us can learn something from everybody, and vice versa. Everybody out there can learn something from us. So you should be trying to talk to, teach, and learn from every single person that you met. And you should be reading books like crazy, all right? What you get in school is not enough. That just gives you a standard education. I want you to self-assign yourself homework. Yes, I did say self-assign. I know that sounds crazy, but I've done it. Self-assign yourself homework and read all the time outside of your regular schoolwork or regular job work, all right? Because readers are leaders. And don't tell me you don't have time, because everybody has the same 86,400 seconds in a day. And during that time, you make time. I know a woman that used to stop at red lights, and she'd whip out her book and read for like 10 seconds during the red light. Now, I'm not telling you got to do that, but I am saying you can carry along a book with you and read it while you're standing in the line at the post office. Heck, you could even freaking do it on your phone, all right? You could do it on your phone. There's so many opportunities. You could do audiobooks in your car, while you're driving. Automobile university, I call that. Here's the thing. I mean, we should be so grateful that today we have the opportunity to better educate ourselves than the kings and the queens of yesteryear. Yes, We are better educated than yesteryear's royalty. And that is a pretty cool thing. So make time to read. If you read just 1 hour a day, you will read 20 pages, which equals 7,000 pages a year. You don't think you could be pretty knowledgeable in something after you've read 7,000 pages in it? I think you can. So get to it. All right. And when you're doing it, read biographies, read self help. These are two great books that really, really help you succeed in life and think differently. All right. I mean, yeah, read other things too, of course, but definitely get some biographies and some self help stuff in there. And remember, success leaves clues. Peak performance coach Anthony Robbins always said that. Follow the recipe. Somebody's already been there before, walk in their shoes. Success leaves clues. So find those clues through reading and through talking to people and just follow that recipe. Okay, and again, skate to where the puck is going, all right? If you do what everybody else does, you're going to get what everybody else gets. And I think you want more than that, don't you? Instead, do what the greats are doing, all right? And that's reading. That's reading because readers are leaders, okay? Have you ever heard of the word Kaizen? Kaizen's a pretty cool word. All right, Kai means change, and Zen means good. All right, so change is good. This came from like World War II when General MacArthur was helping the Japanese rebuild Japan, and they went into this whole quality control thing, which they called Kaizen, but it became more than that. It became a living, breathing being way in Japan, Kaizen, change being good. And through that, they were able to go from, post World War II devastation, not even being able to do a phone call to like a world superpower in a very short time. All right. So Kaizen, that's what we all need to shoot for. We all need to shoot for change is good, right? Don't be afraid of those modern day saber-tooth tigers and the unknown, right? The rejection, the failure. Change is good. Let's get out there. Let's read. Let's talk to people. Let's figure out how to change for the better. Because like Kaizen, right? If you're living and breathing Kaizen, you'd be surprised. You'd be impressed with yourself in 2 years from now. All right, just do it. I'm telling you right now, you've got to do the work. Do the work, and life is going to be pretty good for you. That's secret 7, okay? My Granddaddy's secrets. So in conclusion, here are the 7 secrets of my Granddaddy's success. And based on my book, The Storm, Secret 1, we're here for a reason. So watch out for those cognitive misers that try to steal your thinking. All right. Number 2, the simple things are the best things in life. Don't overcomplicate things. All right. 3, skate to where the puck is going. All right. 4, the pain of regret. Remember the rocking chair test. The end of your life, regretting the things that you didn't do. 5, it's already in you. Everything's already in you. You can do this. Secret 6, every tragedy includes an opportunity. Ask better questions. What else could this mean? And secret 7, do the work. We can all do this. Do the work. Okay. So there's some more resources, obviously, to go much, much deeper into what I was talking about here. The Storm, it comes in the ebook, the paperback, audiobook. It's out there, and you can take a much, much deeper dive into these leadership success principles and Granddaddy secrets I've talked about. It's your turn to interview me. If anybody here got any questions of me, I would be happy to take these at this moment.
Thank you so much, Dan, for that excellent talk on leadership tips and tricks. I'm sure everybody tuned in will be benefited greatly, and especially those who will be tuning in later. So thank you very much for that. And how would you define, Dan? How would you define a leader? What kind of a person makes a leader?
There's a lot of different kind of people that make a leader, and I think there's a leader in every one of us. Now, my favorite type of leader, the one that I aspire to be, the one I hope I'm being, is the inspirational leader. That's the one that doesn't go around yelling at people to do this, do that. That's like the authoritarian leader. And I don't really like those so much because they only get people to do the things they get people to do when they're watching them. When their back is turned, they're not there. People aren't going to do that. So what I aspire to be is the opposite. I aspire to be an inspirational leader where I inspire people. I don't go telling people exactly what to do. I inspire people, some of it's by example, what I do, but I inspire people to go out there and to start thinking bigger and being a leader themselves, making the world a better place. And of course, I'm a resource for them, but I'm not going to tell them what they have to do. Instead, I'm going to inspire them to think bigger because thoughts do become things and bigger thoughts become bigger things. So I would say to all of us, um, inspire people, be an inspirational leader. All right. Because what happens is people are going to perform way, way better. They're going to have a deeper connection with you. And when you're not there, your back is turned or you're not there, people aren't going to sit down on the job and do nothing, because they have this internal versus extrinsic motivation. Inside, they're inspired, they're motivated. They're going to do the work whether you're there or not. It doesn't matter. They're going to do the work because they are inspired and they want to become something more. So I always think that that's the great leadership that I always aspire to be. Like I said, there's many, many, many different types of leadership. I've met so many introverted people. It's like there's a common myth that you got to be extroverted and outgoing and all that stuff, and that's not necessarily true. I've met some great introverted leaders who also, let's say, aspire. Maybe they don't have the very large personality that I have as I inspire, but they inspire people other ways. So yeah, again, Pradeep, there's many, many, many different types of leadership. I think every one of us has some kind of leadership inside of us and can bring it out as long as we're prepared. As long as we've done the work to be knowledgeable and know, what we're talking about. Every one of us can find somebody that knows less than us that we can lead, hopefully through inspiration and not through some kind of domination sort of thing. So I hope that answers that question.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And good evening, everybody, and goodbye. And see you again soon. Thank you so much, Dan Blanchard, for that very inspiring talk that you have given us. Thank you. Good
You're
evening,
welcome.
and good night, and goodbye.